Friends, I love this. Angela C. from Indiana says this about the angel membership. I love all of the content that Julie puts out and the angel stories. I learn the most from her than any other spiritual person/mentor. Angela C., thank you so much for warming my heart with that message. And thank you for being part of the angel membership program. I'm so excited for our next year in 2023. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius. And today I have a very special new angel story to share with you myself. This one just blew me away, knocked my socks off. And I wanted to share it with you because I think there's a lot you can take away. There's so many angel messages that came in through this story as well. And what I want to start off by saying is that my dad passed away on August 5th, 2015. And when it comes to the anniversary of his passing, I don't put it in the calendar. I don't mark it down anywhere. Because every year I say to my dad, I want you to come through to me. This is going to make me cry. I want you to come through to me in a special way. I want to feel your presence. I want you to show me signs that day, whatever signs you want to show me on the day of your passing, on the anniversary of your passing. So that I feel your presence, so that I know you're there. And boy, oh boy, did my dad come through this year with just the most incredible angel story and signs. So I have to start out by saying this too. If you've listened to this podcast for a while, you know what a huge, huge fan I am of the movie Interstellar, right? I love that movie so incredibly much because it makes me think of my dad in the way that Matthew McConaughey and his daughter in this movie really work together in their purpose on Earth. And I find so much connection in that between my dad's passing, his and my connection while we were still here on Earth together, and me continuing to carry so much of his life on through this podcast, through my work, because he's always there helping me from the other side. So the movie Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey is in it. Since I've started the podcast 4 years ago, people have always said to me, Julie, what about the movie Contact? What about the movie Contact? And friends, I don't know why I've made this mistake over the years, but I have always questioned, like, why do people want me to watch the movie Contact? And I finally realized it's because I was thinking that movie Contact was the movie Cocoon. I don't know if you remember that early 90s, 80s movie Cocoon, but I was like, well, what would that have to do with this? I had not remembered the premise of the movie Contact whatsoever. I remember watching it back in the day, but I hadn't remembered it. And so I wake up August 5th, 2022, this year, not remembering that it's my dad's anniversary of his passing, not expecting to get any signs, not waiting to get any signs, just kind of going about my day. And I think it was a weekend day, or we weren't doing very much, and I was kind of cleaning around the house, and I didn't want to sit down and watch a movie. I was kind of in that go mode of let's just clean. And I kept hearing spirit come into my mind through my intuition being like, just turn on the TV, just turn on the TV. So I'm like, okay, I go over, I turn on the TV and I go, where do you want me to go? Cause we don't have cable. We just have different apps like Netflix or Prime or Apple TV. And so they were like, Apple TV. Okay. So I click over to Apple TV, and the very first thing that pops up on the screen is like, recommended for you, the movie Contact. And I see Jodie Foster's face on the front of this TV screen in front of me. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here folding clothes all day, doing the laundry, and watch this movie Contact. So I turn on the movie Contact, and if you've never seen this movie, here's this little girl, Jodie Foster, as a child, and she's already lost her mom, and she's living with her dad, and she loses her dad. Her dad passes away and leaves her alone here on Earth. And this movie is about her wanting to get signals, signs that there is life beyond our planet. And through the movie, we get to this point where there has been contact made, and they have shown us a way to even go deeper with this contact with the other side by building this huge machine, right? And through a series of events, Jodie Foster is the one who's able to go on this mission first. And when she goes on this mission, what you see happening is this ball that she's in just dropping right through this device and going right into the ocean, this body of water. But when you really look at it from Jodie Foster's perspective, time moved differently for her than it did for the object that she was in, this ball or this sphere. So what you see happen with Jodie Foster is that she's really going through this portal of energy, and she gets to this place that looks like Pensacola, Florida. And she gets out, and who is there but her dad to talk to her? And he says something that's really, really interesting. He says, you humans are capable of such beautiful dreams and such horrible nightmares. He says, you all feel so lost, so cut off, so alone, only you're not. And he also says, in all our searching, the only thing that we found that makes the emptiness bearable in life is each other. And I think this is so incredibly fascinating. So I want to break this down for a second, because one of the things that I really felt as a message as I was watching this movie is when her dad's looking at her, kind of communicating messages from the other side to her. And he says, you feel so lost, so cut off, so alone, only you're not. This huge message this year has been coming through where we have to start thinking about God differently. God is not a man up in the sky. God is everywhere. I love referring to God as all that is, because to me, God is right in front of you in all of the molecules of energy surrounding your body. And God is in every single cell within your physical body. God is everywhere, everything, everyone. And when we start to see God differently, that God isn't above us, miles away from us, in a different realm from us, looking down on us, but God is here. God is surrounding us. God is the energy within us. It is God. It is you being the droplet in the ocean that is God. God is having this experience of life through us, through our individual experiences as human beings. So I'm going to repeat this one more time, where the dad in the movie Contact says, you feel so lost, so cut off, so alone, only you're not. I want you to just feel, just stop right now for a moment. Take a deep breath in, then a deep breath out. And I want you to feel all of the energy, the molecules of air surrounding you. I want you to feel them hugging you. I want you to feel that this is God's energy. This is God surrounding you. And I want you to feel into your human body, all of the cells within your physical body. Feel like they're giving you a hug too. This is God within you. This is God experiencing life through your eyes, your dreams, your desires, your wants, your wishes, your hopes. All right, so one more time. Now that you've felt it, now that you've experienced that, at times you feel so lost, so cut off, so alone, only you're not. You're always surrounded, filled with God's energy. That was one of the messages that came through this experience with my dad on the anniversary of his passing. The other thing that this dad in the movie Contact says to Jodie Foster's character is, in all our searching, the only thing we found that makes the emptiness bearable is each other. And I know that we have so many conflicts with one another, that there's so much up and down in our connection to one another just as life flows. But truly, it is our connection to one another, the connection that you feel to friends and family and the people that you're closest to, that makes life worthwhile, that makes you feel human, that validates you. And connection itself, this is something that we're going to be talking about a lot in the Angel membership in 2022. Connection itself is not something that just happens. Connection, what the angels just whispered, and this is Archangel Michael coming through. Connection comes from presence. Connection comes from us putting our awareness and our consciousness on our interaction, our love, what we feel, what we want to experience with another person. And so I think a lot of us take connection with others, and that could be friends, for granted. Connection with our kids, our grandkids, our parents, our partners, our friends, our coworkers doesn't just happen. It's something that we have to be conscious of. We have to, with intent, want to spend time with that person, make plans to spend time, go out to lunch, share from our hearts. But it is connection itself that makes life worth living. And I thought that that was a beautiful message that came through too. I want to give a big thank you to Jenna Kutcher for recommending me as the top intuition and manifestation coach. Because of her, I'm featured in this month's issue of Goss magazine. If you'd like to work with me, join my Angel membership. A whole new year of content and live events begins January 1st. The biggest impact I've seen is the Angel membership has helped countless people move from feeling stuck, grief-stricken, frustrated, anxious, lonely, or depressed to feeling constant support, joy, love, bliss, ease and peace because it's like they learned the angelic secrets to living life. I've watched so many souls take the tools in the membership and manifest the perfect relationship, the job they desire, or that special something that's been calling to them within their heart. So if your angels have been calling you to join the angel membership, that is a message. They're saying to you, hey, we know where you're going and we're trying to help you get there, but you need these tools in the angel membership to do so. If you need a scholarship, friends, a link is in the show notes below. If you want more info and a special promotion, use the link in the show notes to register for a discovery call this week. Don't miss the most transformative year of your life. Angel members, we start a whole new year together as a community on January 1st. Register today at theangelmedium.com. So I want to go deeper into this as well because there were some really beautiful, beautiful moments in this movie. And the movie Contact reminds me so much of the movie Interstellar. I mean, for goodness sakes, Matthew McConaughey is even in it. He plays a pastor and Jodie Foster is a scientist. And they basically find that they're trying to get to the same place. And I see that within life itself, that science is trying to find what is true out there. And spirituality is trying to find what's true out there. They're two very different ways of getting to that truth, but they're really on the same mission to find the same information. So again, as Jodie Foster is going through and she's like in this big ball of technology that has been created and she's on her way to make contact with the other side, they think that this ball is going to be like launched into the universe, right? And is actually going to go to a different planet and she's going to physically get out of this ball and have conversations with other beings. But what really happens is that this ball that she's in drops through this massive, these rings and drops into the ocean. Well, I think that that's very interesting for where we're at right here, right now within humanity, that we want so much physical proof. We want so much physical evidence, but the evidence and the proof is coming through the experiences that we're having, like the experiences that we're sharing on this show with all of the different angel stories that we're sharing. And so one of the other things that happens is Jodie Foster in this movie too, she wants that proof. She wants that evidence as a scientist. But what she finds is that what she is able to get is an experience that she shares. And here's what she says. So as Jodie Foster is saying this next piece in the movie, she's come back from this experience with her dad, and she's like in front of a congressional Congress sharing with them what she saw, what she experienced. And they're like, but where's your proof? Where's your evidence? And she says, I had an experience. I can't prove it. I can't explain it. But everything that I know as a human being, everything that I am, tells me that it was real. I was given something wonderful, something that changed me forever. A vision of the universe that tells us undeniably how tiny and insignificant and rare and precious we all are. A vision that tells us we belong to something that is greater than ourselves, that we are not, that none of us are alone. I wish I could share that. I wish that everyone, even for one moment, could feel that awe and humility and hope, but that continues to be my wish. And so what she's saying here is that there is this, even today, I mean, this movie came out in the mid 90s, and here we are 20 years later, 30 years later, still having the same conversations. And what I think is so powerful about this movie is what she's saying is, isn't the experience the proof enough? Isn't that experience the evidence enough? And I don't know that we can answer that yes or no for everyone, but what Spirit was whispering as I was watching this movie is, to you listening, your experiences, your angel stories, the signs that you get from the other side, those are your evidence. Those are your proof. And yeah, we all still have to have faith. It does come down to faith. Because if God was to part the skies, right, and or just pop out right in front of us, of the energy right in front of us, or come down from the clouds, we would all have that concrete proof and evidence, and there would be no need for faith. Faith itself is part of being a human being. I'm not sure how much free will we would have if we had concrete proof of the other side. I think it would change so much to life and how we live it. It has to be structurally set up this way. Faith is part of the deal of being a human being. And so I wanted to come on to share this experience with you because I thought it was just so incredibly cool how much of this movie tied into my connection with my dad and him coming through on the date of his anniversary of his passing, and that I always ask him for special signs. And to watch this movie on this date, and as I'm folding the laundry, I think I gasped out loud, oh my goodness, this is the day that my dad passed away. Dad, thank you so much for coming through. Because as I was watching this movie, I could just feel so much of his presence with me. And there were a lot of cool other signs, like Matthew McConaughey being in there, and how much I love Interstellar, and also the name of the character being Ellie, which is tied to my kiddo E's name. So just so many synchronicities and signs and presence through this movie. I definitely encourage you to watch it. I definitely encourage you to just feel the high vibration from it. And it really makes you think about a lot. How are your experiences proof and evidence and validation enough that there is another side and that they're surrounding you? Your spirit team is with you all the time. Can that be enough for you? The signs, the symbols, what they whisper to you, the number signs that you see. Can that be enough for you to hold on to your faith within your heart and know that they're with you all the time? That's what I got out of this. Let me know what you think over on Instagram at Angel Podcast. I'd love to continue this conversation over there. Friends, if you have a loved one on the other side, ask them for signs. And if you want, ask them to come through to you on their birthday, on their anniversary, with just special signs. It doesn't happen every single year where I get something as big. I just think it's so cool that out of all of the days and the years that I could have watched this movie, it ended up being on the date of my dad's anniversary of his passing. So friends, ask for those signs for yourself and don't expect them every single year, but just allow divine timing to bring you what it is that you need, the experiences that you need to validate the faith you need within your heart. Friends, I love you so much. I hope you have a blessed day. And thank you so much for listening to this show. Mwah. Bye. I want to give a big thank you to Jenna Kutcher for recommending me as the top intuition and manifestation coach. Because of her, I'm featured in this month's issue of Goss magazine. If you'd like to work with me, join my Angel membership. A whole new year of content and live events begins January 1st. The biggest impact I've seen is the Angel membership has helped countless people move from feeling stuck, grief-stricken, frustrated, anxious, lonely, or depressed to feeling constant support, joy, love, bliss, ease, and peace because it's like they learned the angelic secrets to living life. I've watched so many souls take the tools in the membership and manifest the perfect relationship, the job they desire, or that special something that's been calling to them within their heart. So if your angels have been calling you to join the Angel membership, that is a message. They're saying to you, hey, we know where you're going and we're trying to help you get there, but you need these tools in the Angel membership to do so. If you need a scholarship, friends, a link is in the show notes below. If you want more info and a special promotion, use the link in the show notes to register for a discovery call this week. Don't miss the most transformative year of your life. Angel members, we start a whole new year together as a community on January 1st. Register today at theangelmedium.com.